What is up, everybody? How are you guys doing today? Hopefully it is good. On today's video, we are going to be tackling the 5 reasons why I believe Five Nights at Freddy's is not coming to Halloween Horror Nights. Now, if you just happen to come across this video, I also did 2 other videos tackling this Five Nights at Freddy's coming to Halloween Horror Nights. I did a general speculation, and then I did a top 5 reasons why I believe it could come to Halloween Horror Nights. So watch those before you watch this one, or you can watch this one and then watch those. It doesn't really matter either way. Just watch ahead. Number 1 on this list is the fact of the costume and how they would probably do this house. There's 2 ways they can handle this. They can either do it as animatronics, which is probably really too expensive, so they would probably do the route of the puppets like they did for American Werewolf in London. And I think that's the trickiness, is that you can't generally have a whole house with just the puppets, and I just don't believe that would work, because you gotta have something to break that up, whether it's going to be victims or other stuff in there. And I also feel like if you put someone in a giant teddy bear suit, they would be able to move a little bit more than the puppet. So I think that would be difficult, at least to have scare actors in the giant suits, because A, you're dealing with, you know, it being hot, and B, they're sweating, they might pass out and get dizzy, a lot of people might quit. So I think the costumes are like a big reason why. Number 2, it cannot be really that scary, and that's what I keep hearing multiple times in the comment section of the last video. Is a lot of people were saying that the property is not really that scary. A big fluffy teddy bear is probably not that scary. Number 3 is the history of video games at this event. If you've been to the event, you know Halloween Horror Nights has tested things throughout the years. We had an Alice Cooper house, which is our first ever kind of music-based house. That didn't really work. And then we also had Silent Hill and Resident Evil, although Silent Hill was more so based off a little bit of the video game and sort of the movie property. That didn't work too well. And then the Resident Evil was just kind of an overall failure. At least for the general public, it received probably the lowest of the lows that year. We don't have a great history with doing video game houses, and I believe that's why we haven't seen many video games come to the event. They could do Last of Us, Outlast, you know, all these other properties that they could touch, Doom for instance, but they haven't, because I felt they know that that property is just not going to translate probably well to a house, and it would just end up being kind of a failure overall. So video games at this event, no go. Number 4 on this list, and we are talking about overall, Five Nights at Freddy came out in 2014, and now we're sitting about 4 years later. It's had multiple sequels. The steam on this project has died down a little bit. A lot of people keep saying that it's just not as popular as it once was. It kind of hit almost like an Angry Birds, where it was popular maybe the first 2 years it came out, and then it kind of spawned all these sequels and cartoons and all this merch, and it just kind of just became basic. Number 5 on this list, we are talking about Blumhouse is behind the movie, but still it could be a failure. Blumhouse is a great horror company, but not everything they make is gold. For example, And this could just be one of those projects that it has a lot of talked about, because how are they going to do this? And then it comes out and it ends up being kind of just a basic horror movie that's, you know, not really that great. So that could be one of those things. We also had like stuff like Dracula Untold at the event before the movie came out, and they had the house. And the house was just okay, and the movie kind of just failed in the box office. So thank you guys for watching. That has been my top 5 reasons of why Five Nights at Freddy's, tongue twister, should not come to Halloween Horror Nights, or why it would not come to Halloween Horror Nights. What are your reasons? Leave them down in the comment section. I'd love to know them. If you are not already following me, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram over at ZombieCT. And until next time, boys and girls, I will catch you later on the next video. Good afternoon and good night whenever you're watching this. Zombie Chris is out.